various things that had to be made for the Mishkan with the big day kuna, the vestments that were worn by Aaron, who was the Kohen Gadol, and his children, who are considered ordinary Kohanim, whether it's 4 vestments, 8 vestments. And a Kohen who officiates without vestments, the avodah, the service is not valid. As the Gemara says, Bigdeim aleim kunos aleim. If they're wearing the vestments, then they're considered functioning Kohanim. If they're not wearing the vestments, they're not functioning as Kohanim. Therefore, it's no different than a non-Kohen had officiated. So it's not a valid service. We read in the Torah that the first 7 days of the erection of the Mishkan, Moshe Rabbeinu would officiate every day. And every day the Mishkan was erected, dismantled. And again, this is a 7-day period. Every day the same thing happened. And Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who officiated for 7 days. On the 8th day, when the Mishkan took on a permanent status, this is when Aaron and Bonov, Aaron is the Kohen Gadol, and his children as ordinary Kohanim, they were installed on a permanent basis that they should be the Kohanim. So Marna Avodah Zorah asks, during the 7-day period that Moshe officiated, what vestment did he wear? Did he wear vestments? So the Gemara says he wore choluk lovon, a white tunic. He didn't wear vestments. So simply you could say, because since he was not functioning as a Kohen during this time, but it was, the Torah says, Hashem says he should officiate, but not in capacity of Kohen, which is kapora, as the Seforno learns. Since it's not for kapora of the individual Klal Yisrael, one doesn't need big day kuna, because we find that the vestments of the Kohen Gadol, they actually, they atone. That's how the Seforno learns. However, the Shalal Kodesh explains that initially, before the Chet of Adam Rishon, what was the vestment of the human being? The essence of the person is his neshama, his soul. The body is the vestment. But as a result of eating of the Eitz Hadas, that vestment became putrefied. The body, subject to death, it's intermingled with evil because of the Eitz Hadas. So now, to qualify him to officiate, he needs vestments, he needs big day kuna. The Kohen Gadol needs 8 vestments. The Kohen Hedjit needs 4 vestments. Moshe Rabbeinu was at a level, the Shalal Kodesh explains, he needed no vestment. Because he's nachnu mo, as it says, he radiated. His body was holy. Therefore, he needed no vestment. His essence is his neshama. The vestment is what? Is the body. So the choluk lovon, the white tunic, was just to cover his nakedness. It wasn't in any way to qualify him as the officiant to be qualified to officiate. The Ramchal writes in the Das Tfunos, and it works beautifully with what the Shalom says, if the vestment of the neshama is the body, where should the neshama be? Within the body. There were only 2 people in the history of existence where the neshama was within the body. Adam Rishon Kodem Achet, before the sin, because his body was pure, therefore the body actually encapsulated was the cloak of the neshama, and Moshe Rabbeinu, but after the Chet of Adam Rishon, the neshama departed from the body and it hovered over his head. But Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the other person, his neshama was within his body, because his body had that level of kedusha, of holiness, therefore the body itself was the appropriate location for what? For the neshama. So as a result of this, as the Shalom explains, so what was Moshe's vestment? His vestment was his body. Because where's the neshama? The neshama is within the body. The body is servicing the what? Facilitating his actions that he's able to function as what he's meant to function. Our neshama hovers on our heads because we have the taint, the impurity of the chet of Adam Rishon. Therefore, our neshamas cannot be in our body. Therefore, a Kohen, other than Moshe Rabbeinu, if they officiate, they have to have the vestments, and without that, the avodah is not valid.